Fortunately, Dante had learned how to wait. He had waited 14 years for his liberty, and now he was free. He could wait at least 6 months or a year for wealth. Would he not have accepted liberty without riches if it had been offered to him? Besides, were not those riches chimerical, offspring of the brain of the poor Abbe Faria? Had they not died with him? It is true, the letter of the Cardinal Spada was singularly circumstantial, and Dante repeated it to himself, from one end to the other, for he had not forgotten a word. Evening came, and Edmond saw the island tinged with the shades of twilight, and then disappear in the darkness from all eyes but his own, for he, with vision accustomed to the gloom of a prison, continued to behold it last of all, for he remained alone upon deck. The next morn broke off the coast of Aleria. All day they coasted, and in the evening saw fires lighted on land. The position of these was no doubt a signal for landing, for a ship's lantern was hung at the masthead instead of the streamer, and they came to within a gunshot of the shore. Dante noticed that the captain of La Jeune Amélie had, as he neared the land, mounted 2 small culverins, which, without making much noise, can throw a 4-ounce ball 1,000 paces or so. But on this occasion the precaution was superfluous, and everything proceeded with the utmost smoothness and politeness. 4 shallops came off with very little noise alongside the lugger, which, no doubt, in acknowledgment of the compliment, lowered her own shallop into the sea, and the 5 boats worked so well that by 2 o'clock in the morning all the cargo was out of La Jeune Amélie and on terra firma. The same night, such a man of regularity was the patron of La Jeune Amélie, the profits were divided, and each man had 100 Tuscan livres, or about 80 francs. But the voyage was not ended. They turned the bowsprit towards Sardinia, where they intended to take in a cargo, which was to replace what had been discharged. The second operation was as successful as the first. La Jeune Amélie was in luck. This new cargo was destined for the coast of the Duchy of Lucca, and consisted almost entirely of Havana cigars, sherry, and Malaga wines. Folks, I don't have a whole lot to say about today's passage, I'm sorry to say. We've talked a little bit about smuggling already, and the one thing that caught my eye, I will say, was just the insight into the captain here, where it says that the same night such a man of regularity was the patron of La Jeune Amélie. The profits were divided, and each man had 100 Tuscan livres, or about 80 francs. So basically saying that the captain, in my mind, being fair and square, makes sure that his men are paid the day that they do the work to keep them, happy, keep them working, and keep them loyal to him and his ship. I'm not sure that that could be said of many smugglers of this time, pirates, etc. I guess they aren't pirates, but smugglers and pirates are very different things. I shouldn't have said that. But it'd be easy in this shadowy economy to have someone to promise money of people that they owe and then never pay that money back and then sue them later on and then get that lawsuit dismissed just to buy your time until you owe them even more money than you did initially, and then you just tie them up in fucking legal battles for the rest of your life and never see a day of jail. Sorry, where did I go? Oh yeah, I'm right here. So, yeah, we don't know much about this captain yet, but he seems like he's shaping up to be a fair dude. And I guess the efficiency of the operation he's running, they drop off their cargo and then immediately they were out and about grabbing some new cargo to replace what they had discharged. So this seems like a pretty lucrative operation this guy's running. And should we also just kind of acknowledge that very last sentence there that the cargo consisted almost entirely of Havana cigars, sherry, and wines, Malaga wines. He's not smuggling people. That's good, right? He's not smuggling I mean, like, it's all pretty harmless stuff. Just things that might be banned or, have some sort of international fees attached to it at exorbitant rates to discourage the trade between nations and hurt the people that actually want them by having to make them pay more for the things that they want. Folks, I'm sorry. I'm very uppity today. The point being that not only is this efficient and, is the cargo coming in and out quickly, and he's paying his lot fairly and quickly, but it's also like, kind of harmless and above board stuff. So I'm thinking that this might be a good place for Dante to be after his imprisonment. Like, there's a lot worse things that could happen, and I would say this is a mark in the category of good luck for Dante. But I guess there's only one way to find out as we start to end chapter 22 over the next couple days. Join me here tomorrow to find out more about what happens on the Jeune Amélie. Okay, until then, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.